Hey, welcome. Let's talk about sales presentations. You know the ones I'm talking about. We've all sat through them, the endless slides, the drone of a one-way monologue. But what if we could totally flip the script? Today, we're going to dive into how you can transform that standard sales pitch from just a broadcast into a powerful, compelling dialogue. You know, one that actually connects and gets people on board. Let's get into it. So, just stop and think about this for a second. What's the real difference between a sales pitch and a genuine conversation? Well, a pitch is all about talking at someone, just pushing information out. But a conversation? That's about talking with them. It's a give and take. And that one little difference, well, it changes everything. It's the core idea we're going to unpack right now. So here's our game plan. We're going to break this down using a simple 3-part blueprint. First up, we'll lay the foundation, which is all about the two-way conversation. Then we're going to build the framework by mastering the core skills. And finally, we'll add that finishing touch by amplifying with technology. This is basically your new guide to building presentations that actually work. Okay, let's start with the most important piece of the puzzle, the foundation itself. Before you even think about your slides or your solution, you've got to change the whole dynamic. It all starts with turning your presentation into a genuine two-way street. You know, the key phrase on the slide, the one that really matters, is mutual understanding. That's the goal. A great presentation isn't about you showing off how much you know. It's about creating this dynamic exchange where you and the customer are kind of on a journey together, figuring things out. It's a huge shift from broadcasting information to actually connecting with someone. So how do we actually do this? Well, it's about more than just the usual advice. Building rapport isn't just, small talk about the game last night. It's finding a real point of connection, like mentioning a recent award their company won. And active listening, it's not just nodding your head. It's about using techniques like playbacks, where you pause and say, "So what I think I'm hearing is that your main issue is X. Do I have that right?" That proves you're actually listening. But honestly, here's the most crucial part. You can't do any of this if you're a nervous wreck yourself. Getting a handle on your own presentation anxiety is non-negotiable. When you're calm and confident, you create the space for a real conversation to happen. All right, so we've got our foundation set. We're ready to have a conversation. Now we need a framework to build on top of it. So let's move to our second pillar and look at the core skills that give your conversation a real sense of purpose and direction. The main tool for structuring this conversation is a method called need solution selling. And what's great about it is how simple and elegant it is. It makes sure that your entire presentation stays focused on the only person in the room who really matters, your customer. And this breaks it down perfectly. See, it's not about jumping in and talking about your product's features. No. Step 1 is all about discovery. You're asking questions, you're listening, and you're really understanding the customer's need. Only after you've done that do you move to step 2, where you connect your solution directly to that specific problem. And then, finally, you demonstrate the value, not just what your product does, but what it does for them. Following this order keeps the whole thing relevant and incredibly powerful. Now, pulling this off, it takes a certain kind of skill. The source material points out that the best presenters are fantastic multitaskers. But look, this is not about checking your phone while you're talking. It's about being completely present, managing the conversation, making sure the tech works smoothly, and most importantly, reading the room in real time. On a video call, this is even more vital, right? It's about noticing when someone leans in close to the camera versus when their eyes start to drift away. Catching those little digital cues is absolutely key. Okay, so we've got our foundation and we've got our framework. Now it's time for the final piece of the puzzle. Using technology, not as a crutch, but as a way to amplify everything we're doing. This is where we add the polish that really makes your message shine. This slide just lays it all out, doesn't it? The old way was just a one-way info dump. It was static, pre-scripted, boring. But with modern tools, you can create a demonstration that's truly interactive and dynamic. It responds to the conversation as it happens. Instead of just listing off features, you are co-creating a vision of what real value looks like. It's less like playing a pre-recorded video and more like a live collaborative workshop. And really, that's the bottom line. It doesn't matter if you're using super slick software or just a simple slideshow, the technology is only a vehicle. The goal is always the same. A demonstration that delivers clarity, that builds confidence, and that gives the customer a compelling reason to say yes. The tech should always, always serve the message, not overshadow it. So let's wrap this all up. Here is your blueprint. Start with the foundation. Make every single presentation a two-way conversation.
Then, build on it with the framework of need-solution selling to keep it laser-focused. And finally, apply that finish. Use technology to amplify your message and deliver undeniable value.
And that really just leaves us with one final thought. Your next presentation, it isn't a speech you have to get through. It's a conversation you get to have. So the only question left is, who will you be talking with? And what are you going to discover together?